My name is Reed Molman. I'm a student at University of Wisconsin-Stout for video production, and I suffer from depersonalization slash derealization. Depersonalization slash derealization is this general feeling of detachment from reality. What I dislike about it the most is how difficult it is to describe it to people who don't have it. Because whenever you try and describe what it actually feels like, it kind of sounds like you're just, it kind of sounds like you're exaggerating or you're reading like a poem or something. I generally tend to describe it as like the line between dreams and reality is kind of blurred, like usually you have a dream and you wake up from it and it's pretty obvious, like, oh, okay, obviously that, that couldn't have happened or whatever, but, when you're going through normal reality and like things feel like you're kind of in a haze, like your eyes are glazed over or things don't quite feel right, that feels like a dream too. And it being hard to explain has also been where a lot of the trouble comes from too, because sometimes you don't even feel like, is there anything even wrong with me at all? Am I just wallowing in self-pity or something, or am I just having a rough time and this is just like, a weird way of expressing it? But I don't know, I mean, you kind of just have to like trust your gut that like, yeah, there is something wrong, because I didn't look at things this way before and now I do, and it doesn't feel right and it doesn't feel as good as how I used to process these things. It can definitely make you really paranoid, which is really rough. It's not fun at all. I really like to watch movies and watch TV and watch anime and stuff like that. I'm big into anime, have been for a while. There was this anime that I started watching called Hajime no Ippo, and it's about a boxer and just like sort of his rise through like the featherweight classes. And there's like, in the opening themes, there's like a lot of this really cool imagery of him just like getting the shit beat out of him. Like his face is all bloodied, or he'll just be like getting bashed and fucking beaten up by his opponents or whatever. There's like in specific, there's one that like really sticks out to me, is the one where he's flanked by two like raging like paths of fire, and he's like just dodging and hopping up and down, and so like watching that and sort of equating my mental issues, onto that experience of like, of a boxer sort of getting knocked out after knocked out and still coming back through and sort of persisting, has been like imagery that I can really latch onto, I really like toys and stuff like that. I like Transformers, and you can see I have a shelf full of just like a shit ton of collectibles. They're really fun. I love Transformers. They're kind of like, almost kind of like a fidget toy in that aspect, but you've got like, instead of just like a little spinner or like a Rubik's Cube or something, you've got a thing that can transform from like a velociraptor into like a guy. I think they're really cool. Just a ton of fun. Yeah. I really like, tactile things and art in general. I love music, I love movies, I love making stuff, I love, posing action figures and building model kits and all sorts of stuff. Crafty, creative stuff, that's what I'm all about, yeah. I like to express my thoughts a lot, and I think I'm pretty good at like getting my thoughts out of my head and like onto paper or something, I can express myself pretty good, but this issue, the DPDR, has been a complete, like, I just have no words really to describe it, because it's just unlike anything I've ever felt, My family definitely has a little bit of history when it comes to health issues. I'm not entirely sure, like, mental issues per se. I know my mom in college, she said that she had a really rough time, and she had all sorts of terrible things that happened to her during college, mentally. My dad has been through a lot of health issues and also some mental issues as well. I think he deals with he's got leukemia, he has diabetes, he has neuropathy, he had a couple blood infections a few years back, and he's been through it all. He really has. And having somebody like that in my life who has just been such an incredibly positive influence, and sort of proof that you can go through hell and back numerous times repeatedly and get out of it okay and remain, you know, an incredible person, because he is an incredible person. I mean, he's fun, he's resourceful, he's helpful, he always, you know, he's not judgmental or anything. It's inspiring, and it helps. If I had any advice for somebody going through anything at all, you know, it doesn't have to be specifically DPDR, it could be depression or anxiety, which I've also also had to deal with. If there's anything that I would recommend, I think it's that you have to keep in mind that things will get better. And I think that people will toss around that phrase all the time. You know, things will get better. You can't let things feel like it's going to be the end, you know. But you kind of have to realize that people don't just say that because it sounds nice, you know, because there's a lot of truth in that statement. Things are going to get better because you know that there was a version of yourself that didn't deal with this at one point, and you know that it's possible to get back to that. You know what I mean? You're in this pocket, sort of. You know, you're fighting this stuff every day, and when you're in the thick of it, when you're in the heat of it, when you're fucking exchanging blows with it, you can't ever imagine yourself not being afflicted with whatever you're dealing with. But that just simply isn't true. You are always going to be able to fight it and be better at the end of it. You cannot understate how helpful your hobbies are. Like, really, they are. I mean, they're like the one thing that's gotten me through most of this. You know, I mean, I've been alone up here for the most part, and I can call my parents and I can, like, you know, Skype chat my brother and all that stuff. But, you know, real human, like, interaction, you know, with your friends and stuff like that can help too. But when you're by yourself, when you're on your lonesome, because you kind of have to expect that you're going to be alone a lot of the time, hobbies and TV and media and Legos and action figures and all this other stuff has really, honestly helped. Like really made it so that the pain is not as bad. You know, I mean, it's not as depressing when you've got stuff to look forward to and stuff to be happy about. I mean, you know, that's it right there. I mean, they make you happy, and that's really, you know, when you're in a really tough spot and happiness is so seems so scarce, you know, and you're bobbing and weaving and you're fucking exchanging hits with whatever you're dealing with every single day, and you're all bloodied and black and blue from getting punched and shit. The fact that you can return to stuff like that makes you happy is, I mean, that's it right there, you know. I mean, that's when it becomes, it's no longer just, you know, it's no longer just like a toy, right? It's a lifeline, something that you can retreat to, and something that can ground you and bring you back to who you are, you know, or who you were, or who you felt like you were, or how you'd like to feel, you know. And it's sort of a reminder that you aren't right now is possible to get back to, you know, and that's something to fight for. I think that everybody needs something to fight for, you know, like a reason to fight. So yeah.